certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rom-Com. Got a fun panel here today. Over here we've got Richie. Richie, how's it going?
Going good, man. Looking forward to my 2000's rom-coms. I haven't been on a call with Peggy for in a little bit, so it's good. Be good to chat movies.
And I knew I couldn't do this without Peggy. There's other people asked as well, but they were busy seeing a Broadway show. But I know she'll yell at us later. But Peggy's here. Peggy, how's it going?
It's good. Chris TV might show up in the chat maybe on our way home from the Broadway show and dinner. I don't know, but happy to join you and let's do this. Come on, let's go. We're ranking some rom-coms. Let's do it.
But with that being said, how this goes, we're going to go around in a panel and each nominate rom-coms until we get a short list of 12. And then at the end, we rank them from 12 to 1, obviously. But Richie, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Okay, it's not probably not the most obvious one to bring up, but I do think it's really good and it's a good love story. I'm going to bring up one of Adam Sandler's better movies of that era. I'm going to bring up 50 First Dates. I think it's a really fun, really good, sort of charming film, and I think the chemistry between Sandler and Barrymore just works. There's a reason why they did more than one movie. I just think that they do come across like they could be an actual couple, I just think that the humor works in this, and I think it's charming, and I think they both put on really great performances. So I do think it's worthy of this list.
Peggy, what to say about 50 First Dates?
There are two things that Adam Sandler does really well. It's romantic comedies and sports movies, in my opinion. And I am happy that you nominated 50 First Dates because it was in my personal top 12 that I have for my little list that I'm going off of. So I approve. I vote yes.
I would have suggested 50 First Dates as well. I really like it. And it's one of those ones like Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore did so many rom-coms together. I actually thought they actually were dating at one point in my life. But that 50 First Dates does make this list, and we go to Peggy.
I might as well stick with the theme of romantic comedies set on an island of some sort because I'm going to nominate Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It is a fantastic romantic comedy because the comedy is more prevalent, honestly, than the romance, and it's a rarity nowadays. Like, you get romantic comedies and they focus on the romance and there's not so much laughter, like laugh out loud moments. This movie had those laugh out loud moments, and so it's among my favorites for the decade. So that is my nomination.
So when it comes to Forgetting Sarah Marshall, this is one I actually did want to sort of rewatch this week for this, but I couldn't find. I had trouble finding it. Because when it's one of those ones like
I'd loan you my DVD.
But it's one of those ones like when I first watched it, it just didn't hit for me as much as it may have did for others. I kind of think I know what she's going to say. I think I know what she might say because I think.
Are you about to give Forgetting Sarah Marshall a no, Malcolm?
I'm sorry, I am going to give it a no.
For shame.
But Richie, what do you say about Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Given there's three people, if I say yes, does it go through?
It does.
All right, cool. Because I'm going to say yes. Because I love this movie. I think it's great. I think it's I think it's great. I think I think every character is great. There's I love the chemistry between like Mila Kunis and Jason Segel. It's sort of when when Hollywood sort of introduced to Russell Brand before he kind of went crazy. Anyway, And yeah, he's really good in this, and yeah, it's a good story, and yeah, I think it's one of Judd Apatow's. Oh, well, it's not a full-on Judd Apatow movie, but written. It's one of the funnier movies that he's that he's been involved in. So yeah, I would say yes, definitely.
Yeah. But that Forget to See Marshall does make this list. And for my first nomination, I'm going to go for My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay.
Look, this is I've watched this many times, and this is one that I just really love and think it gets better and better on rewatch. And I believe it was produced by Tom Hanks as well as well.
There's
But
the production company.
yeah, and you don't really see John Corbett much these days, but I really want to see him in other things more.
He does a lot of Christian movies. He does a lot of pure flick stuff.
But Richie, what do you say about My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Like I came to this sort of not that long ago either, like maybe the last 5 years. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great, great romantic comedy, and I think it's like we've got to. When it comes to that, I think it's one of the isn't it like one of the most successful independent films of all time, or something, or one of the most
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, and like it does earn its spot. I think it's a good movie. Maybe don't love it as much as other people, but I do appreciate it. Certainly better than the sequel that came out a few years later, which was terrible. But like we're talking about this movie, and I'd say yes.
And Peggy, what do you say about My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Well, 2 votes gives it a yes. It was number 14 on my list, and we're ranking the top 12, so I can't really be mad at all because I love the movie. It's set in Chicago, always a bonus for me. Yeah, I can't be mad at this nomination, Malcolm, even though you tried to vote against my nomination. But no, Nina Vidalis, it's better than My Life in Ruins, the I guess spiritual sequel, I guess we can call it to it. I mean, I like Richard Dreyfuss's role in that one. I don't even know why I'm talking about that one. We're supposed to be talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Just highlights of the movie. The brother, I don't know the actor's name who plays her brother. It was like the whole like teaching him the wrong Greek words and having him say it in front of the thing. He owned that role. So kudos to that dude, whoever he is. I'm out of practice. I'm not Schmodown's over. It's all right. I don't need to know these things anymore. But no, good nomination. I approve. I guess I'll give it unanimous yes.
But that Richie, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
I'm going to go for a movie that surprised me because I usually don't really, I mean, I was in the trailer. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to really be my thing. But yeah, it came out the sort of tail end of the 2000s. And yeah, I think it surprised a lot of people. I'm going to go The Proposal. Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. I think this movie is a lot of fun. I think their chemistry. Again, I think that's the word that's going to pop up on a lot of these. Like when we talk about these movies, because I think like a sort of an ingredient to make a good film is chemistry, and I think Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock have that. And it's good to see Betty White and supporting role. I think she crushed it. She's really funny, and I just think it's a really charming and really interesting movie. So I'll punt for that. I'll go The Proposal.
Peggy, what do you say about The Proposal?
This nomination kills me right now because while I love the movie, don't get me wrong, I love the movie The Proposal, but top 12 of the decade. And it kills me to say it because I adore Sandra Bullock. I adore Ryan Reynolds. I'm gonna give it a yes, but under protest because it's great, but I don't think it's top 12 great. Her name is Margaret. You'd think I'd be completely on board, but there's little things about the movie that irk me. I don't want to get into it right now. But
you don't have to say yes.
A hesitant yes. I'm giving it a hesitant yes. There you go.
When it comes to the Proposal, I really do love The Proposal. I do think it's good. I actually probably would have given it a slight no. Like I always go above and beyond when I make my
You
own
need to be
personal.
meaner, Malcolm. We should have both said no. It just caused so much drama.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones like when I do these lists, I make it. I go all over the place and make a very long list. So there's a, and this does kind of fall in my just outside my top 20, but it's one of those ones that I do like it, but it makes the list regardless of what I say. But yeah, Peggy, we go back to you.
Back to me. Okay, I'm gonna go with a movie that I was very excited when I saw the trailer for, and then I was not disappointed when I finally saw the movie. I understand that the lead actor of this movie has come under some controversy as of late, but I'm nominating Hitch. I think Hitch is a fantastic rom-com, and it's like one of those ones where you can take a guy to and he'll still enjoy it as well. It's not completely aimed for the ladies, if you will, or what have you. But yeah, Hitch is my nomination. Needs to be on the list. Don't say no. I'm going to kill either one of you if you do. Better say yes. Okay, go.
I mean, I wouldn't have put Hitch on the thumbnail of this video if I didn't like it.
Okay.
Hitch slaps.
Thank you.
But yeah, a good Will Smith laughing joke where never goes amiss. But anyway,
I didn't even connect it. Thank you for saying it. Not too many of these, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, I love Hitch. Like this is like back when I was younger, I didn't really get so much into romantic comedies. Hitch was probably the one that actually got me into romantic comedies and got me feeling like they're not just like always a sappy love story. Sometimes they actually have a lot of heart to it, like Hitch does. So yeah, it's an easy yes for me for Hitch. Richie, what do you say about Hitch?
Yeah, no, it's I didn't get the slapping connection either. I just thought, I just laughed because you know it's just funny hearing the lingo coming out of him coming out in a New Zealand accent. But yeah, no, I love Hitch. I think it's a it's a at least fun movie. I think it still sort of remains underrated, and it's definitely and like the chemistry. I mean it's one of Eva Mendes' best performances, and also one of Kevin James' best performances. It actually proves that there you go. It's definitely it proves that he can there's a great actor in there. I just wish he took on better projects, but I understand why not. But yeah, because he's really likable in this film, and I think more people need to talk about Hitch. I feel like a lot of people do, but not as many people as I thought. I thought it'd go down as sort of a classic and that, but yeah,
it is in my world.
Yeah.
So
I will say one of my favorite Kevin James movies is probably the one that came out recently when he wasn't trying to be funny, and that's that Becky. I think
Becky was a Nazi.
Well, yeah, I wasn't trying to go that.
No, I mean like no. I'm not. I know what you mean. I'm not trying to say no, I'm like saying he's he's a good. Yes.
But anyway, moving on from that, I'm going to try this because I know this this trilogy is not that loved by a lot of ones, so I'm going to try it anyway. I really love Bridget Jones' Diary. Like this is one of those rom-coms which I really dug and it like Colin Firth and Hugh Grant have been in a lot of rom-coms and that they sort of are always great and I think like this is when I never really read the books but this is just one that spoke to me. I really love Renee Zellweger as Bridget Jones. I think she's great. And yeah, Richie, what do you say about Bridget Jones' Diary?
Yeah, I do like Bridget Jones' Diary. I think all three of them are pretty good, but yeah, that's the first one's the best one. I think it's one of Renee Zellweger's better performances. Yeah, it was again, it's it came out. It's not really something I sort of took a punt on it. It's not the type of movie I'd go for, but yeah, I thought she was really good. And I thought the chemistry between all three leads are pretty good. And so I don't know, I didn't think it was as divisive as maybe you say. I don't know, maybe just hanging and being around a different crowd, but yeah, I always thought it was pretty beloved. So, I mean, I would say yes.
And Peggy, what do you say about Bridget Jones' Diary?
Well, not much I can do about it at this point, but my vote's a nope.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's a cute movie. There is something about Renee Zellweger that there's certain, I don't know, there's this je ne sais quoi to some people where they just kind of drive me up the wall and I can't buy into their roles. And the fact that this movie was like the protagonist was played by an American when it was like a British thing. It should have. I think it was miscast. It's still a cute movie, and in the top 12 of the decade for me. So, but it's already made the list, so there we go.
But that we move back to Richie. Richie, what is your next nomination?
So I've been going back and forth between this one because, I mean, I'll put it out there just for discussion because I don't, there's enough romantic comedy elements in it to kind of make it a romantic comedy, but you might kind of more lean towards the comedy side. As an overall comedy, I think it's like one of my favorite comedies ever. But like, I'm gonna pump this. Would anyone you consider 40-Year-Old Virgin romantic comedy? Because I think it's one of the best. I think it's one of the best comedies of that.
Getting laid, finding love.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best comedies of that decade, and one of the best I think comedies period that I personally see. I think it's it's one to go back to all the time, and I think it's I think Steve Carell is amazing. Yeah, it's a great breakout performances from Seth Rogen and and I can quote this movie all day. The great chemistry between him and Catherine Keener. I like the interaction he had earlier with him and Leslie Mann, and the when she's drunk in the car. I just think it's one of the a great comedy, and a great comedy, and I thought I was going to bring it up, but I know there's other people who probably lean toward more the comedy side, but I think there's definitely a romantic element in there too. So I think it's worthy of this list. So. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Peggy, what do you say about 40-Year-Old Virgin?
This is another one where I am saying yes, but a little bit under protest because it is on my list of 26, but it ain't in the top 12. But I agree. I mean, it's a fantastic comedy. It's one of those ones where, I mean, maybe it didn't do so great at the box office, but everyone has seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like, there's no way to escape it. And it's a fantastic movie, so I really can't hate on the nomination. So a reluctant yes.
Just like Forgetting Sue Marshall, like 40-Year-Old Virgin is another one I'm not super high on, but this is one that I actually will say yes to. It's higher up than what I have Forgetting Sue Marshall, and I know Austin's probably if Austin's watching, he'll chime in with Judd Apatow movies are too long, but
they are, but this one's fine.
Yeah,
this one's fine,
but 40-Year-Old Virgin gets yes from me, and we move to Peggy.
All right, here's where I go like it's rom-com, but it's not like the expected nomination coming for me right now because I feel like this movie is underseen. It's The Girl Next Door. Are you guys familiar with this one?
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I just want to make sure. It is one of my favorite rom-coms. And I feel it's underappreciated. You get Emile Hirsch, you get Paul Dano as Klitz, you got Timothy Olyphant. Anything with Timothy Olyphant, I'm on board with. So it's cute, amazing soundtrack, rewatchability chart, like off the charts. The Girl Next Door. That's my nomination.
I mean, The Girl Next Door is one of those ones that I do enjoy a lot, and I actually recently watched it this year. Not for this, but just early on there when it was actually put back on Netflix for me. But this is one that's got a lot of charm to it.
You wouldn't think it would. It does.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I did struggle a lot with myself. Like seeing if it is a one, but I'm gonna say yes to it. I do think it does still sort of leans in that rom-com side, even though it's comedy is really prevalent. But Richie, what do you say about The Girl Next Door?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it when it came out. I know a lot of people in this community talk about it, and I do enjoy it. Like you mentioned, like the performances of Mila Hirsch, Marathon. I feel like Alicia Cuthbert gets underrated a lot. Like she's great. She's great in this movie. She's great in this movie. She was great in 24. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think this movie is pretty good. But yeah, I might just because I don't like it as much as some of the others. I would sort of give it a slight no. But yeah,
That's fine. Yeah, I gave slight nose to some of your else shit, so that's cool.
Yeah.
How many we got on the list so far? Nothing's been voted off yet.
No, we've got 8. We've got 4 spots left.
4 spots left. Good God, this is not good.
Shit,
All
holy
right.
shit, this is
You guys better nominate some good shit. Let's go. Who's next?
It's me.
no pressure now.
Make it good, Malcolm.
I'm hoping this is good, but look, I'm going to go for a Kevin Smith movie, which I think, just like the Girl Next Door, which I think it doesn't get talked about a lot. I'm bringing up Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Why are you doing this to me, buddy? Why are you doing this to me? It's not even in my control. It's whatever Richie says. So go on. All right.
Look, this is one.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Yeah. This is. I saw it for the first time this year when we did Kevin Smith movies. And I think this is a really good movie. It's also one that I was tossing up whether I'm going to bring it up or not because it's one of those ones that the bromance part of it is there. But I'm bringing it up anyway. I'm not backtracking on that. But yeah, I think it's a good movie. And Richie, what do you say about Zack and Miri Make a Porno?
So like probably people have been on the stream with me before would know that I'm a huge Kevin Smith guy, and look, I like Zack and Miri more than I love it. I think I think that the sort of the cast characters around the two leads of like Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks are like sort of more memorable than their connection. Like they have decent chemistry, but it's just like that. I don't really see a lot of romance there. And it's not I'll say it's not the Kevin Smith one I thought you were going to bring up.
That wasn't him either.
Because I would say that, I mean, that might come up later, I don't know, but I feel like that's more strays into romantic comedy than this movie. And I don't know, I think the more memorable like kind of scenes in Zack and Miri involve like people like Justin Long and
the Viewers universe like characters that you've seen pop up otherwise.
Yeah. It's just like me and Jordan Owens did like a ranking on Views because technically it is Viewer Skew because Justin Long is in Reboot, the character of Justin Long in Reboot. So, but it did rank quite low because I like it, I don't love it. So I'm going to do your favorite pick. You can say no.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to say no too, motherfucker. All right. If you're going to pick a Kevin Smith rom-com in the 2000s, you go Jersey Girl all day long. But even while I adore Jersey Girl, you guys might nominate it later. That's fine. I know I'm stepping on toes maybe. But even that, I don't think it's top 12 of the decade. Even though I love it, it's great.
No, that's fair.
Fair
but that
for later.
Zack and Miri doesn't make this list. Richie, what are you going to bring up?
All right. I'm gonna bring up one I still think is a bit underrated and like it's sort of not. I mean, definitely at off the beaten path as far as like the type of role a certain person plays. But yeah, like it's a great Christmas movie, great holiday movie. It is The Holiday. I like The Holiday a lot. I think this movie is again very surprising. I think the connections between all 4 leads are great. Like Jack Black is actually it's a different kind of role for him, and I think he crushes it. I think his chemistry with Kate Winslet is actually very good, and it's just a really charming movie. And I feel like it's much like sort of going next door, I think it's underseen. So I want to. I'll go the holiday.
Pig, I think I know what you're going to say by your reaction, but what do you say about the holiday?
My poker face is non-existent. I just kind of let out the emotion whenever it just bubbles up. Underseen, I've watched this movie every Christmas. This is a classic in my world. It is in my personal top 12. I am glad you nominated it. I will allow this to be part of the final 4 to be nominated. 100% yes. I love this movie.
Yeah, the holiday would have been an easy yes for me as well. Like, this is one of the 2 Christmas rom-coms I really love watching a lot during the season. I may bring the other one up. It's one I may not. I don't know how it's going to go though. But that the holiday is making this list. Piggy, we go back to you.
All right, so we got 3 left, right?
Yeah.
3 spots. Okay. I'm going 13, going on 30. Jennifer Garner's ability, for physical comedy, playing a grown-up 13-year-old, if you will, is truly underappreciated. She knocks this role completely out of the park. It is adorable. You've got her, you got Mark Ruffalo, the whole story, and love it. 13 going on 30 is my nomination. You guys vote it down, so be it. I'll just kind of have a thing against you forever or something like that. So vote, go ahead.
So the funny thing is, on my personal list, 13 going on 30 landed at number 13 for me.
Okay. All right.
But Zack and Mary Make a Porno was knocked out, so
Yeah,
it's an easy. It's an easy yes for me.
There we go.
Richie, what do you say about 13 going on?
This is the first one that we brought up I haven't seen, so.
You're in for a treat someday.
Yeah. I can't remember what part of the world, but I know in some countries it's known as suddenly 30.
Yeah, it's known as suddenly 30 here as well. Yeah. I don't know why, but it just is. It's.
That's a strange edit. All right.
Yeah.
That was easy enough. Let's go. I got another one on the list.
But yeah, so this is one that I feel I probably should have led with, but it's too late now. But I'm going for a personal New Zealand rom-com, which I'm pretty sure only Richie might have seen. But it's Sione's Wedding.
This is vote manipulation. Vote manipulation, because it's a New England thing. And his vote is the deciding vote. Sorry, his vote. Yeah, there we go. This is manipulation of the whole list.
Hey, this is also... I mean, to be fair, this is also me wanting to skip some more Love New Zealand movies out there. But yeah, Sione's Wedding is actually a really good rom-com. Like, basically, the premise of this is obviously Sione's getting married, and his friends are all troublemakers, and he gives them a ultimatum, going, well, you can come to my wedding, but you must bring dates. Otherwise you'll cause trouble.
It's basically like a different version of Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha.
But
I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's one of those ones like it's a really great movie. And I do think you would like it, Peggy. I think it will be known as Simone Wedding in the States, I believe. It might be on Tubi, but Richie, what do you say about Sione's Wedding?
So you've put me in a weird position, right? I love this movie. I absolutely I've seen it many times.
It's gonna be number
I've seen
12
it many times.
Through.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. I love the Naked Samoans. I think they're a great group. But yeah, No, just because here's my logic. Because it's like because like like it's big in New Zealand. Like I don't even think it's like it's big within me. I don't know how many people in Australia have seen it, but like I know it did okay here. Just because it's like underseen, I don't know if I can justify putting it on like the top 12 of the decade. So I'm with regret. I'm going to say no. I know you probably thought I was going to say yes, but I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Oh, no, I didn't think about it. To be honest, I actually was looking at my DVDs that I had over there. It's like, oh yeah, that actually fits. But yeah, Peggy, what would you say about Seattle's review?
I've never seen it, so I'm gonna have to say no. Because I think if it was in the top 12 of the decade, I would have heard about it by now.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I'm sure it's adorable. I'm sure it's cute. I'll add it to my queue if you guys point me in the right direction. But top 12 of the decade, and I've never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, that's fair. Like I knew
but
it was.
You got a chance to promote it, and there you go. That's
exactly. I mean, hell, I bring up Black Sheep when we were talking about horror as much as
you also bring up movie 43 a lot, and so I was saying.
No, you're not. No one's ever let you live that down.
No, they're really not.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't brought it up as much as I normally do.
Oh no, the die has been cast. It's just, it is what it is.
But anyway, Richie, what is your next nomination?
I feel like
Make it good, Richie.
I feel like there's certain people like in certain decades who commanded romantic comedies. In the 90s, you had like maybe Julia Roberts and possibly like and then I feel like in the 2000s, there's either like Sandra Bullock or this next person. I'm gonna nominate a Reese Witherspoon movie, and it's like
is she even on the board yet?
No.
Is she on the board yet? I don't think she is.
No, but yeah, when we talked about Mark Ruffalo, I'm gonna nominate this one out, Just Like Heaven. I think it's a good movie. Okay. Oh, you can say no. I think it's underrated. I actually really enjoy it. Like this dude who sort of falls in love with this spiritual entity. I mean, yeah, it's not a traditional romantic comedy, but I really enjoy it, and it's it's underseen. I don't know if you'd nominate for the last kind of slots because we're getting down to the wire here, but yeah, I generally think it's a really good movie. So. Here we go. Yeah, I'm ready for Peggy to say no.
I don't like you doing this to me, Richie. Okay, so I like the movie Just Like Heaven. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I'm pretty sure it's on my wall somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to go through my collection again. Actually, I don't think I own it. Anyway, but like I'll give you. It's got cute moments. It's got a lot of cute moments. Donald Loge is great. Not Robert Loggia, but Donald Loge. He's great as like the best friend, whatever. The ex of the I'm not even gonna get into the whole plot of the movie, but there are other parts that are just like, while I adore cheesy, there is such a thing as too cheesy, and there are a few moments in this movie, and I just I understand the whole afterlife thing. Like Ghost did it like perfectly, but this one there's parts that just so I can't give it top 12. I'm sorry, Richie. I'm gonna have to vote no. And I'm sorry, Reese, and I'm sorry, Mark. If you ever see this, I really hope you never do. I adore you both, and I like the movie, but it ain't top 12 of the decade. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Look, no. Yeah. Well, I wasn't it wasn't passionate about it, so I'm not cool. Oh yeah, I guess.
But this is the top 12 of the decade. Come on.
I know, but I was just like, I do like that movie. We'll see what happens. I know.
You see me begrudgingly give yeses to the ones that are great movies, and it's like, is it top 12? I don't know. Like, yeah, this ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I
think Mark and Reese would both say it ain't it. It ain't top 12 rom-com.
Yeah.
Like the paycheck.
No, Mark will probably just Hulk out on us. But anyway, look. I do enjoy Just Like Heaven, but yeah, this is one of those ones that just because there's only 2 spots left, I don't think I can say yes to it, unfortunately. And it's pain. I mean, I think the 2000s was really I think there was 2 like romantic comedies in which one of the people who did was there was Over Her Dead Body as well, which I think also came out in the 2000s.
that was terrible.
But yeah, but anyway, but with that being said, Peggy, we go back to you.
2 spots left. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
In. Okay. So, I guess maybe like the main focus. Okay. Do you guys consider The Devil Wears Prada a rom-com?
I mean, it came up on a lot of lists when I was looking it up.
Because I do too, but I mean, it's a focus, but it's not the main focus. So I just want to be.
Not the main focus, but again, it did come up when I was googling stuff. So
okay.
Yeah.
So if you think it's list allowable, then it definitely has to be on the list because it's one of those things where it's borderline, like just. I guess I don't know if chick flick is like a derogatory term for like a movie anymore. I don't know what's actually like PR like allowed or whatever. Is chick flick like a bad term at this point? I have no idea. But I consider it a rom-com, but I've had people debate it with me and they make some plausible points. So I just want to clarify with you two if you consider it so.
Yeah. I have no issue with it being
all right, well, I am nominating The Devil Wears Prada because I adore this movie. I read the book before I saw the movie. Anything with Stanley Tucci, I am absolutely 100% on board with. It's like side note caveat: it is a shame that Easy A was released in 2010, so it couldn't be part of this list. But it's a great movie. You got Meryl Streep. I mean, come on, Miranda Priestley. Like that's an iconic role for her. She's gonna go down as Miranda Priestley as one of her iconic roles out of so many iconic roles. But that hairdo, the sunglasses, that's how I think of Meryl Streep when I think of Meryl Streep. So I adore this movie. That's my nomination. Let's see if it gets through.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, this is one that is like in a way tough for me because, well, yes, I allow. I'm not going to say but. And I mean, for me, if Peggy says it's a rom-com, then I will. It's
borderline.
Yeah,
according to some, I guess.
Yeah, it's.
I consider The Replacements a rom-com, and I've been hesitant to nominate that one, but I love that movie. So, anyways, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, look, I'm going to let people yell at us in the comments if they.
Let them yell at me. No, direct all your shit talk to me.
I mean, this came up on a lot of lists, and I love this movie. I'm going to give this a slight yes. It's definitely one that people are going to focus on. But Richie, what do you have said about Devil Wears Prada?
I feel like because after this, if I say yes, we got one left, and I feel like we might go back and forth a lot because it's going to be.
This sucks. There's so many that should be on this list that are not. I
know. Yeah, look, it is borderline. It's a really good, one of the better comedies. I think it's the first time, the sort of world saw Emily Blunt as well. She's really fucking good in this movie. I
see no comments in the chat right now about whether or not you consider it a rom-com. Who's watching right now? I know there's what? I don't know, four of you. Come on, let's go.
Again, direct your criticism towards Peggy if you must, but I'll say yes as well.
But that Devil Wears Prada does make this list. Goes to me, and someone else who we actually have not talked about yet that's did a lot of rom-coms in the 2000s, and that's All Right, Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, all right, I like where you're headed. Let's go.
And picking which one is
wait, he's not on the list yet. Holy shit, this list sucks.
Yeah, I know. There's also another person that does a lot of opinion. Yeah. There's a couple of people who do romantic comedies a lot that aren't on here. Anyway.
I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of rom-coms released there. But But yeah, I mean, my personal favorite when it comes to Matthew McConaughey romantic comedy movies is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And this is just one that I watched and just didn't expect to like it as much as I did. But it's just one of those ones that the story was just one of those was just one of those ones that really interesting, and the whole plot is about to sort of this advertising exec making a bet they can make any woman fall in love with him. Well, the woman's magazine enters doing trying to get him to dump her. So and it's interesting because it's based on a book, which the book itself has no narrative. It's just and it's just like comedic dating don't. So the fact they made a plot out of that book is just incredible. Richie, what do you say about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yeah, I do like it. I think it's one of the. It is definitely. Oh man, in my opinion, it's like the I was maybe what are you going to bring up there? Yes, the other one, which I do like, but it's not decade worthy. Um, yeah. So I do like this film. Certainly, Matt McConaughey and Kate Hudson have great chemistry. They try to you know they try to kind of I don't know what the word is, recapture that in Fool's Gold, which not a good movie, but anyway, but this movie is pretty good. I know it gets a lot of love. I just don't love it as much as other people. So I'll leave it up to Peggy. I'll say no.
Peggy, what do you say about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
So I have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days ranked higher than the other Matthew McConaughey rom-com that has not been mentioned. It's not Fool's Gold. That should be in the top 12, but if I vote yes on this one, that one's definitely not going to make it, obviously, because it's the last slot. So I'm going to propose something to you, Malcolm, on the fly. Since this is a 3-person panel, and it's normally like a 4-person panel, or 5, because a couple people had to peace out before we had to go on live or whatever. Can we do a thing where if it was like a reverse vote, that we can vote it off and possibly nominate something else if we had no control over it once I say yes to this movie? Does that make sense to you at all?
So basically, change your vote to something you said yes to before.
Yeah. Can we knock something out? Can we go one more round each and see if we can possibly knock something out? But it has to be something that you had no control over the vote in the first place. Because if it's something that you nominated, Malcolm, I had no say in the matter because by the time it got to me, I couldn't vote it off if I wanted to. And so Richie would do it for you. I'd do it for him.
You know what? I will allow it.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So I will say yes to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Great movie. The chemistry between Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson is great. This is like one of the first introductions for a lot of people to the great Catherine Hahn. And it's a classic in my world, and so it has to be part of the top 12. So yes, absolutely 100% yes. Soundtrack too.
That does make the list. Now, so
here's my idea.
Yeah. I'll let Peggy explain.
All right. I will allow you guys to do so. Like, if you list up, after I'm done explaining, Malcolm, you list off the 12 that are on the list, of the final 12, and say, Richie, be like, okay, I'd say we pull this one and I nominate this instead. And if you get the both of us to agree, then we'll do that, and then we'll go around the horn. Make sense?
Yeah.
So add a little bit more drama to the show since it's only 3 of us.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yes, sounds good.
No, that's good.
But with that being said, the 12 that is on the list, we've got 50 First Dates, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, The Proposal, Hitch, Bridget Jones' Diary, 40-Year-Old Virgin, The Girl Next Door, The Holiday, 13 Going on 30, Devil Wears Prada, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Richie, is it what one of those
would be your number 12? I mean, we're throwing a wrench in the equation.
Well, going to be number 12.
Yeah.
Um,
And what would you
honestly,
nominate
just because
instead?
like it doesn't. Honestly, just because like that might be it might be better movies than others on this list, but just because it doesn't fit the category as well, I'd probably say The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what would you nominate in its stead?
What would I nominate? There's like
Yeah.
a few.
What needs to be on the list instead of it?
I don't know how
And
much
you got
love
you
this.
got to convince Malcolm.
I know. I don't know how love this movie is, but what I was gonna bring up is like there's a lot of movies that that just sort of deal with love at a certain age, but there's not really much movies about sort of older love, and I think Something's Got to Give is a really good movie. So that's probably what I would have brought up, but I don't know if it's I don't know how beloved
No,
it is.
if you convince Malcolm, I'll allow it.
Yeah. I just think it's a I think it's just a really unseen movie about love in that kind of at the sort of the sort of the older years of your life, and I just think it's a really and it kind of proves that you can find love at any time, any age. I think it's just a it's a really fun movie. I don't know if you've seen it, Malcolm, but and you probably got others on your on your mind, but I just thought I'd bring it.
I'll allow it if you vote
So,
yes.
so taking off Devil Wears Prada and putting on Something's Got to Give.
Would you think that's a more solid list in your mind, Malcolm?
Well, I was just making sure but yes. So Something's Got to Give us number 4 on my personal list. So
There you go.
I will allow it.
So knock off the Devil Wears Prada and add Something's Got to Give. See, it's working. Let's go, Malcolm. What's yours? What are you knocking off, and what are you proposing?
Well, I was about to say you want to go in reverse order because I was going to go to you.
Oh, you go me next?
Yeah.
All right. So rewind, give me the list again. Oh no, it's in the private chat. Never mind. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So. See, I don't think I'm gonna get you two on board for this one.
Try me.
I don't think I'll actually sway your vote, but I will make a case that. Okay. Do I want to even make this case? I don't even know. All right. Fuck it. I love the proposal. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I think Wedding Crashers is a better rom-com.
I never thought about that.
I mean, they're crashing weddings, but the whole thing is about both of them they find love and the whole of them trying to make it work. That's a fucking rom-com, boys. So in my perfect world, I would take Bridget Jones' Diary off of this list as well. But I would take Sandy, I love you. Ryan, I love you. But I'm taking that one off, and I'm putting Wedding Crashers in its stead. Let's have at it, boys.
So, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is I will treat it just like everything else, like as long as the majority agrees. So, Richie, what do you say? Take off proposal and put Wedding Crashers.
You needn't be hesitant, Peggy, because
they're both great movies, but I think one just edges the other one out.
I love this. I didn't even think of it in a romantic comedy sense, but it technically is. So it is, and the chemistry between Rachel McAdams
genre on Letterboxd, romance. Comedy.
The chemistry between Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams is definitely there. It's just one of those ones. Obviously, they explored again with Midnight in Paris. So it's there. I love this movie too. There's fewer comedies I've watched more times than Wedding Crashers. So I know this movie back to front. So I would say yes. It didn't even come.
Are you now mad you didn't nominate it yourself?
Yeah.
Love it.
But with that, proposal is taken off, and
Sorry, Was that you, Malcolm? Was that yours? Or was that yours, Richie?
That was mine, but yeah, that's all good.
You took your own off.
I took my own off, yeah, because I forgot about Wedding Crashes.
Love it. All right, Malcolm.
I mean, no, as well. It's what he said. Like he's not too upset about it because he loves Wedding Crashes and just didn't consider it.
Well, you got to research. I got a list. You see it?
The one rule I will add because I would have been tempted to do Wedding Crashes is for the replacement ones I can't go back and go take off Wedding Crashes, put something else on. Just to be fair.
It's your show, Malcolm. You can do whatever you want, sir.
Well, that's the thing. As I said, I'll be tempted to do that, but because it was just put on, I'm not going to try and take it off and put something else on. But yeah. Look.
Do you see a glaring hole? Do you see a movie that, like, why is this not on the list?
I mean, it's one, but it's more. Well, can I get people on board?
Yeah, no, it's tricky. It's tricky. There's others I think that need to be on this list, but I didn't think I could actually campaign for them effectively. You'll hear them in my.
Look, I'm going to try this. Look, I'm going to try this and see what happens.
Let's go. What is it?
I'm sorry, Peggy, but I'm going to try and take off the Girl Next Door.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I love the Girl Next Door, but yeah, it's just one like looking at my personal list. One that like another big fixture of like 2000's rom-com is J-Lo. And I love Made in Manhattan.
That's the one you're going with?
I mean, it's the one I'm going to try. Whether or not people agree is the other one.
Richie. I'm going to go get a beer. You convince Richie. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I love Made in Manhattan. I just think it's a really good story, and I think it belongs there. Richie.
I admire the optimism, but yeah, I'm not like a big like J-Lo guy to begin with. Like, yeah, like her films are fine, but yeah, there's definitely one that that I thought you'd bring up, but it's not this one. I'm not really a fan at all. Man, it just didn't hit me as much as it did you, but like it's cool as you. But yeah, as far as top 12 of the decade, I'd have to say no. So I'll leave it up to Maggie.
Look, Richie. Black Sheep is not a romantic comedy. I can't try to convince. But yeah, Peggy. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to convince you to take off Girl Next Door and put Made in Manhattan. Also, you're muted.
I'm always muted. It's a thing with me. No, you're not going to convince me to knock my own nomination off. J-Lo, I love you. Ray Fiennes, you're cool. You got Stanley Tucci in there too. I mean, come on, god damn it. But no, not top 12. I'm sorry. Wedding Planner is even better than that one.
Damn it, that was the other one I was tossing up. But anyway,
that's what you could. I would have had to sit here and him and haw had you nominated that one instead of Made in Manhattan.
But with that being said, the final list that we have, we've got 50 First Dates, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Hitch, Bridget Jones' Diary, 40-Year-Old Virgin, The Girl Next Door, The Holiday, 13 Going on 30, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Something's Gotta Give, and Wedding Crashes.
I like that list. It's missing a few. We'll get that in the honorable mentions section. But
as we was going with next anyway. But Brian, Wedding Crashes is a rom-com. It is listed on Letterboxd as romance comedies.
Yeah.
I
pulled that up specifically.
Yeah. But Richie, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Even lists romance first as opposed to comedy. This isn't me talking. Yeah. This is Letterboxd talking.
Well, yeah, I sort of referenced before, like another staple of the romantic comedy genre, especially in era as Jennifer Aniston. So I would have said Along Came Polly. It's a really good movie. Music and lyrics with Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant's really charming. Knocked Up. I love that movie. I really like The Sweetest Thing. It's fun.
That was almost my last nomination.
It's Complicated is a pretty good movie. I watched this again recently. The Breakup's fine as well, but I don't know if I wouldn't have I don't have much passion for it, but it's more of a not a lot of romance.
There's more of a rom-dram than a rom-com.
It's more of a rom-drama, so that's why I sort of didn't bring it up. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm sort of standing it. Those sort of those are my honorable mentions.
Yeah, Peggy, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
All right, well, in my mind, The Replacements is a rom-com because there is a love story within that. And if you give me a sports movie with a love story like that, like Major League and all that kind of shit, that's my favorite genre ever. So I would have tried to vote for The Replacements if it had been more than the 3-person panel. But I knew there's no way that I was going to get these two on board with having that being one of the top 12 rom-coms of the decade. So that would be my honorable mention. Got The House Bunny. Should have been in there. The Sweetest Thing, aforementioned by Richie. Thank you, buddy. High Fidelity, not mentioned by anyone. Fever Pitch, again, another one.
I was going to say, if you're doing sports and comedy, I was like, you're going to bring that up.
Give me either one. Give me the soccer one or the baseball one. Definitely Maybe. Got Ryan Reynolds in there again. Romantic comedy. Love Actually, a classic Christmas movie. It is a rom-com. That was not.
That's a movie. If you brought that up, you wouldn't. If you brought that up, you wouldn't like my hot take. I don't like that movie at all.
It's a very divisive movie. I grant you, it did not age well, but it is a staple of my Christmas time. So I'm happy to watch it by myself without the judgment of Richie, which is fine. I'm surprised Juno didn't get a mention. Serendipity is a good one. The Princess Diaries is actually technically a rom-com. 27 Dresses, I happen to like it, even though Katherine Heigl apparently is a brat. I don't know. I think 17 again is a rom-com, even though it's like more of a time travel type of or whatever transformation movie. I think it's a rom-com, and that if you would consider the rom-com, I would probably made an argument.
That's a Zac Efron, Matthew Perry.
But there's an argument to be made that it's more of a time travel, correct, like Back to the Future type of movie as opposed to a rom-com, even though romance is kind of a thread through it, but it's not the most important thing about it. So I don't think I would have won that argument had I nominated it. And then Bend 'Em Like Beckham, again, it's a sports movie, but it's got a love interest with the coach and everything. So I think it's a rom-com. Anything with romance in it to me, and it's funny, if it's got romance and funny, it's a rom-com to me. So I don't know, but any of those would have gotten through, but I'm somewhat happy with the 12. Not entirely happy with the 12 that we've got, but it's majority of what I'm okay with, so we're good.
Yeah. No, for me, I'm just really pissed because I completely forgot High Fidelity was in the 2000s.
It's in my top 12.
Well, the other one that I'm pissed at is in some of the, and I looked at a lot of lists, they did not have High Fidelity either of them, so I just didn't think about it. Had I saw it on one, it definitely would have been one of my first.
People don't think about it because it's from the man perspective or the male's perspective, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Is it wrong to say that nowadays? I don't even know.
But
the cis male perspective.
But but for me, Enchanted, I would consider a rom-com. It's once again, it's one of the, it's borderline. I didn't bring it up because I wasn't too confident on it. Another one that did come up on a lot that I just chose not to bring up is Yes Man.
Yeah, it's a good man.
I can see it. You could have made an argument for it had you been passionate enough. I would have. I'm just trying to find things that haven't already been mentioned by other people. I'm sorry, I named a shit ton. My bad.
No, that's all good. I rewatched this last night. I still really love it. Monster in Law, I think, is a lot of fun.
I don't like. Okay,
What
yeah,
was it?
you would have to fight hard for that.
Monster in Law, the J
Monster in
Lo,
Law, I
J-
got you. Yeah, no, I completely identify with J-Lo's character in that one.
and another one which I'm pretty sure Richie doesn't like that would have been on my list, Shallow Hell, the Jack Black Gwyneth Paltrow.
I own it. Yeah, I do.
That sounds well done.
Yeah, and talking about Ben Stiller, one I'm surprised didn't come up, Meet the Parents. I think is another one that is on
It's
that
good, yeah.
that's borderline romantic comedy.
Had one of you argued well enough.
Yeah. And some that
Yeah.
have come up in the chat. We've got Keeping the Faith, Kate and Leopold, Wimbledon,
Fresh creamery butter.
Just Friends, I Love You Man, Knocked Up, Legally Blonde, Guess Who, and Fever Pitch. I will say I did watch Fever Pitch for the first time because I thought there was going to be one that Peggy would have definitely brought up. It's a good movie. I love it.
It's great. But then
Yeah,
I can see either one of both of you arguing it's technically a sports movie because it really does follow more of the Red Sox and
Yeah.
Dogs
What women want.
story.
Down with
But no,
Love.
it's a fucking rom-com, so and I adore it.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama, Dan in Real Life. He's not just that into you.
Yeah, Sweet Home Alabama didn't make it, did it?
No,
No. I think no Reese Witherspoon did it. Just like Evan said.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that. I
Reese
don't.
Witherspoon. There's no Reese Witherspoon on this 12. We need to fix this. No, before this goes to a Facebook fucking vote, we need to fix this. What can we remove and get Sweet Home Alabama on this list? I vote Bridget Jones's Diary.
Look, I'm just. I mean, as much as I'd love to get Reese
Let's make
Witherspoon,
it 13. Reese has to be on there somewhere. I don't care what movie, but Reese has to be on there. Can we make it 13 movies? Can we say Peggy's being an asshole?
Good show. You can do what you want.
Man's the top 13 for this specific episode.
fine.
You don't have to give in to me, but I'm grateful that you are. Let's do it. All right, which Reese Witherspoon movie we're going to? Are we going with that one? Are we going with Sweet Home Alabama?
That's one. That's the one that probably popped in my head. Yeah.
I mean, I will go with Sweet Home Alabama.
Hey, okay, here we go. Add it to the list, and if it's the first one voted off, we never mention it on the Facebook poll at all.
Yes, no, that's fine.
Off. All right, cool. But no, you're right. Shit, I've only got it on this. I put 26 movies down that I would have allowed, and I've only got Reese on there once. That sucks.
I would have nominated Best Friends. I forgot that was.
But yeah, we got Bull Carriola chiming in with the Baxter being the best 2000s rom-com. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is, Bill.
I don't know what that is. I can't comment.
Philadelphia with the randomest references.
I mean, it wouldn't be bored if it wasn't the randomest references.
Yeah.
And one that keeps coming up, which I definitely disagree with it being a rom-com.
It's not a rom-com.
Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. I
would
have brought it up, but it's one that's like, it's not really a rom-com. It's the anti-rom-coms. I think they even call. I think they even call
the message.
I mean,
if the girl's telling me she doesn't want a boyfriend, she doesn't want a boyfriend.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones because I think even in the marketing, they when they call it an anti-rom-com. But with that being
even
said,
the director says it's not a rom-com.
Yeah, but with that being said, we have got our 13.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. I'm just taking over the show.
But
give me a second. I don't even know my board. Hang on. Okay.
But with that being said, now we go to vote on the order that we want these in. So we're going to vote on number 13.
Already wrote it down.
Hang on. Number 13. But you still got Devil's Prada on this list here. I took that off.
I can't delete them from the private chat. I can add to it.
My bad.
Just ignore the Devil Rose Prada.
Yeah. So just to recap what we've got here is I've got it all written down on a bit of paper as well.
And the proposal is no longer there either.
Yeah, proposal and Devil's Party. Just ignore those ones.
All right, no worries.
I don't think and we've got Sweet Home Alabama. I don't think I've actually added it there yet. But Richie, what do you have for
You're
13?
12. You're 12.
Hang
No,
on, give
no.
me a sec.
Actually, no, yeah. 13 just gets voted off completely.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
Honestly, just because it's the one I haven't seen, I put 13 going on 30.
Peggy, what do you have for 13?
I have a Bridget Jones's Diary.
I've got Sweet Home Alabama. So
We're in a stalemate.
we've got a
Chat,
three-way tie.
comment.
So chat, Sweet Home Alabama, Bridget Jones' Diary, or 13 going on 30. Which of those three is
Majority
should
votes.
be
Did
the
I try to call in reinforcements? I don't know if anyone's paying attention to their chat right now.
There's 4 people watching, so
Oh, yay, 4. Let's go. All right, hang on.
Yeah.
Where's your
and-
hang on, where's your link? No, I don't. Where's the?
I don't. I'll we'll actually change settings. I think I've got it on guest can't see. I know. But with that being said, the first one that came in was from Leo, and
Leo,
Oh
what
my
are you
God. Oh,
doing to
no.
me?
Oh no.
Leo, you just like went down a rung on the coolness totem pole. Just so you know. On the ladder of coolness, you just went down a rung. Why did I erase my answer? It's staying that until it gets off the board. Hang on a second.
I do that all the time. I just literally just did it then.
But I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
So
but
Sweet
yeah.
Home Alabama does not even make the Facebook poll.
it does not.
That's unfortunate. All right, all right, Leo,
But
it's your fault.
Peggy, what I know you've
Oh,
still
what's
got
my,
Bridget
yeah,
Jones.
it's gonna be Bridget Jones's Diary until it gets the fuck off the list.
I've got Reading Crashes, which
I erased and then rewrote.
A call for my parents for your show right now, buddy.
it's all good.
I erased and rewrote 30 going on 30.
So chat once again. Reading Crashes, Bridget Jones' Diary, or 13 going on 30. Which one do you want to be at 12?
Wait, what's up for the vote? Wedding Crashers, 15 going in 30, and oh my.
And Bridget Jones' Diary.
Come on, Leo. Leo, you're setting the tone in the chat. Apparently, it's up to you, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, that's right. Let's go. Get it off the list.
I mean, it's actually unanimous. Everyone's going Bridget Jones.
Thank you. All right, who's left? All right, what's left?
I fucking did it again. Why
don't
did I erase my board?
I don't like. You're gonna have to give me a second because I don't like this at all. I don't like the voting off the island part. I like nominating. I don't like. All right. Just because it's the one I've seen the least. And that's my one and only reason. Better not have been an important call for my mom, just saying.
I mean, you could have muted yourself and answered, but I would have allowed that.
But I was trying to be a little bit more respectful for your show, buddy.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't even know what I want. All right, let's go. Who's your villain first?
I've got Reading Crashes, Richie. Richie?
If that doesn't go through now, I'll take my answer, but I said 13 going on 30.
I said something's got to give.
Something's good. So,
Leo, what is it? Let's get it voted off. It's up to you, Leo, apparently. Let's go.
Well, whoever's the first one that comments, but
He's been the first.
I mean, he's been the first last few times. Reading Crashes, fitting. And Jonathan was actually first in this time. It's going to be 13 going on 30.
Yeah, you don't have to write anymore.
Chat. Shit. Caro, you motherfucker.
Thank you, Caro.
No, I don't thank you at all.
Neither do I.
Well, 25% of this panel.
Why? Again, I erase it. Why? I'm going to vote for the same
I,
thing.
I do that all the time.
I'm just so used to after an answer is revealed that you have to erase your board. It's
Yeah.
almost Pavlovian.
But going to move on to number 10. Richie, what do you have for 10?
Agree with me,
Go
Richie.
next
Come on. What are you going with?
What's that?
Is that still on the list to go next door?
The girl
Yes, that's still on the list. Peggy,
Yeah.
what do you have for
Still
10?
going, something's got to give.
Wedding Crashes. So
Who's
chat.
first in the chat? Be smart about this. Don't make me get your mom. Leo, I don't like you. You're on my shit list, buddy. I erased it again. God damn it.
I did it too.
I am wasting valuable dry erase marker ink right now. Actually, it's not really valuable anymore. What the fuck do I need it for? I don't know. This.
Hang on. All right, I'll do this.
Just to recap what we've got left, we've got 51st States, Feeding Sir Marshall, Big Fat Greek Wedding,
Never sent the text.
40 Odd Virgin, The Holiday, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Something's Got to Give, and Wedding Crashes. For 9, I'm going for Wedding Crashes. Richie?
Look,
I need those.
but I think it's a good spot for it, but also so P doesn't have to rewrite stuff. I'll put Something's Got to Give.
Thank you.
Something's Got to Give will be number 9.
Oh shit, that means I gotta figure out what's gonna be the next one. Alright, private chat. What's the list at? Alright, what's gotta go? What's been voted off already?
So we've got Bridget Jones' Diary, 30 Girl Next Door, and Something's Got to Give on this list. What we've got left is your 51st States, Feeding Sarah Marshall, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Hitch, 40 Odd Virgin, The Holiday, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Something's Got to Give us 9, Wedding Crashes is all still there.
This sucks. I don't like it at all, guys. Let's get voted off next.
Richie, what do you have for 8?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Peggy.
Why do we always gotta go in this? Why do you always gotta be last?
I mean, I've no reason, but I've still got Wedding Crashes, so I haven't changed.
Okay, so it's between Wedding Crashes and 13 going on 30 because I'm sick of living into the chat because the chat, you're full of shit. You guys are picking the wrong movies because we're all picking different ones and then you guys are picking the wrong ones. So I'm not going to leave it in your hands. So I've got between Wedding Crashes and 13 going on 30 right now.
No, you got How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Okay, it's between How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rachel McAdams. I'm sorry, Vince Vaughn. I'm sorry, Owen Wilson. I'm sorry, Isla Fisher. You're gone. We're keeping How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. You can keep that on your board. Don't erase it, Richie, but it ain't coming off anytime soon.
I've erased it.
Oh, damn it. I still don't know. So wait, what? Wedding Crashers just went?
Wedding Crashes is going to be number 8.
Is gone. Proposal is gone. British Judge's Diary is gone. I don't like this. I need an updated list, Malcolm. You need to just type them all out and put them in one big chunk. And then delete a line and then put the big chunk back there again.
StreamYard,
Right,
invent a way to edit the private chat, please.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But
No,
yeah,
I apparently don't share their love of. Oh, okay. That's all right, Steven. You don't have to love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but it's a good movie. Underappreciated soundtrack because it's all like unknowns, but the songs.
51st Dates, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Hitch, 40-Year-Old Virgin, The Holiday, and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days still on the table.
This hurts. It's starting to hurt now. I don't like voting these off. I love all these movies.
But
you go first, fucker. You haven't gone first yet.
oh, I've got pressed a few times.
Have
But
you? Okay, never mind.
I've got Forgetting
Let me
Sarah
go
Marshall.
first. Let me go. Oh, okay.
Peggy, what do
I
you?
want the 40-year-old version. It sucks. It sucks, but I had to do it. Better not be forgetting Sarah
Richie.
Marshall. I will throw.
Yeah, well, yeah. Told me not to raise my board, so I didn't. But like, I almost put How to Lose a Guy in 10 Years, and I'm like, what the hell is a movie? So I changed it.
Yeah, apparently
How to
we're
Lose a Guy
leaving
in
this
10
one in
Days.
the chat. Who's
So-
doing the first is
So,
fine,
chat, How to
whatever.
Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and 40-Year-Old Virgin. Which one of those three
13, I don't see anything
should be
past
7?
13. This is too much power. Too much power in Caro's hands. Fuck you. Fuck you, Zach. I mean that. Fuck you, Caro.
Okay.
There's no
Again,
way
I
that
like you,
Forgetting
Caro.
Sarah Marshall does not deserve to be in the top 12 of the decade. No way. This is too much power in the chat's hand. I don't approve. I don't approve of this at all.
Again, I raised something. I'm not an idiot. Well, why do I keep raising shit? Anyway, I am doing what you
Right.
do.
Fuck you, dude. Have I blinked? Now I gotta blink his ass.
But Peggy, what do you have for 6?
I ain't racing shit.
Richie, what do you
Chris,
have?
You're stupid too.
Richie, what do you have?
Like,
for 6?
Again, I raised it and rewrote it
And
to keep
Brian.
raising stuff. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh man, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Peggy, but How to Lose a Guy. I did write that the full title.
It's all right. Testosterone, fucking fogged minds don't know good movies. Go.
Look, to be fair, I mean, a lot of the rom-coms I have is like 3.5 stars a height. But and this is one that if I rewatched before, I might have actually gone up on my personal list. But yeah.
All right, so we're over to the top 5. What are the 5 that are left?
51st Dates, Big Fat Greek Wedding, Hitch, 40-Year-Old Virgin, and The Holiday.
I would just like to note that the majority of those top 5 are my nominations. For the record,
Yeah, sorry.
the ones that were voted off, y'all are wrong. It's okay. It's a democracy. I can't help it.
Richie, what do you have for number 5?
There you go. You can write something else now, Peggy. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Hey, there we go.
We're actually all unanimous. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
All right, repeat the 4 for me again. Sorry, the beer's kicking in.
51st
the
Dates,
week
Big
kicking
Fat
in.
Greek Wedding, Hitch, and The Holiday.
Okay, all right. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Hitch, The Holiday, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. What?
51st Dates and The
All right.
Holiday.
This hurts. I don't like it. I don't like voting at this point. There are movies I adore. Shit. All right, let's go.
Peggy, what do you have for 4?
51st Dates.
Yeah, it pains me to do this, but 51st Dates.
Yeah.
Richie.
I had Big Fat Greek Wedding.
You won't have to wait long, my brother. Don't erase it. Well, Why am I? I'm not even gonna waste the ink. I'm sorry, buddy. Guess what the next one off the board is, Malcolm?
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be my big fat Greg wedding.
So it's between Hitch and The Holiday. Both of my
Yeah,
nominations.
and this time we
I
write down
would
what you want at number one.
What am I put? Okay. I keep moving my arms so nobody knows what I'm writing down. A strategy I once employed in the Schmodown. I just pretend to write something and not actually be writing it, because if you watch people's pen movements, you can see what they're writing down.
But
When you're playing on the internet, you can do that and be like, "Oh, you wrote a T and an R, so it must be this answer." There you go. Say.
Richie, what do you have for number one?
I said The Holiday.
Peggy.
It's gonna come down to you, buddy, because I said Hitch.
I also said Hitch.
There you go. That's fine. It's fine.
Wait, we were voting for the number one run, right?
Yes.
Okay, because we switched on us. I want to make sure. I would have been happy with either result, honestly.
But with that being said, I'm going to recap our top 12 romantic comedies. At number 12 is Bridget Jones' Diary. At 11 is 13 Going on 30. At 10 is The Girl Next Door. At 9 is Something's Gotta Give. At 8 is Wedding Crashers. At 7 is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And 6, Santa Claus on 10 Days. At 5 is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. At 4 is 50 First Dates. At 3 is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. At 2 is The Holiday. And number 1 is Hitch.
It's going to be an interesting little comment section on this one.
Yep. I mean, yeah. But I've got the poll up already for what you want next week's topic to be. Richie, where can people find you online?
You can just find me on all the trivia spaces. I'm on Movie Hero Network doing tournament fights and tier ranker a lot. I do I do a podcast with friend Robert Cameron. We talk really bad Tubi movies. So I think the next episode that's going to be released on Tuesday on YouTube is Titanic 2. So yes, that was a fun watch. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. It's called Tell Them Streaming. Just look it on Facebook. Other than that, I don't know if you happen to be Australian and live in the area that are watching this. I will be doing gigs in New South Wales soon. Be in Sydney. Come to those. Details on my page. This was fun. That's pretty much all my plugs.
But we've also got Peggy here. Peggy, where can people find you online?
I am at Peggy B Ball across all the social media platforms that I participate in. Like, I've got a TikTok handle, but I've never once said a TikTok in my life. I'm like 42 years old. I think it's past that technology or that platform has passed me by, but it's there. I would implore you all to go check out the show on YouTube called Settle the Score, especially those of you who are Schmodown fans who need a little bit of a movie trivia fix, because that is hosted by Matt Nost, who most of you should be familiar with, and the musical director is Andy Merriweather. He's got a beautiful voice, amazing talent on the piano, and it's a game show where you have to guess the song from the movie, and you will see a whole bunch of Schmodown alumni participating. My latest match was a couple weeks ago. I played Moose Haas. You have to go check it out to see who won that one. But I've also played Marisol. I've played Adam Collins. I told you, there's a bunch of Schmodown alum that pop up on that one. And it's a fantastic show, and it should be more popular than it is. So I implore you to go watch all the backlog, because it's fantastic. And that's pretty much it for me.
And you can find me on Take 3 hosting Rankin every Saturday. And you can also I also host trivia things over on Full Metal. There was a Back to the Future match done recently. The next matches are coming up in first week of November. It's Avatar and Seven Universe, and yeah. But with that being said, it's been a fun episode today, and until next time, keep listening. Shit.
Keep listening, shit, is what Malcolm says. Keep listening, shit. Is that what he says? It sounded like.
Keep listening, shit. Yeah.